Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, the podcast. This is a really special episode today because way back when, I think it was like episode 3 of this podcast, Scuffy was the nicest guy in the world and came on, and he is back again. So thank you, sir, for being here. I appreciate it.
Anytime. I think I'm actually wearing the same sweatshirt that I
Oh, we're
wore
going to have to
the
go.
first episode. I'm not
Viewers,
sure,
viewers,
but I
listeners,
feel
go
like
back in the archives and check.
I feel like I am. I don't know why that just came upon me. I was in a different house because this was what 2 years ago?
It
Almost?
was, it
It was
was
or
like
it's like a year and a
July
half ago to 2 years.
2020, July 2020, maybe?
That long ago.
Yeah, it was a
Jesus.
while ago.
Dude, time flies.
I know, it's
Time
wild.
definitely flies. But I appreciate you having me on. I mean,
No,
you know me. I will love anytime you want me on, I'm here for it. I
well, I
can always
appreciate
talk.
that.
No
What
problem.
was so cool about that moment way back when is like I was to say I was finding my footing still in the community would be the
Mhm.
understatement of the century. Like I had no idea what was going on. I might have had like 5 Twitter followers. I didn't know how to do anything. And it was cool just to get your input on things, and I appreciate it. So this is
Oh, of
this is a
course.
cool moment.
We always
Um,
had to start somewhere, right?
oh,
So,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And so Scuffy and I are just going to kind of shoot the breeze today. We don't really have like any news to operate with yet, though I wish we did.
Should be
Um,
soon.
I'm hoping this is probably the best place to start, right? So, my theory that I've been working with for weeks, we're getting this mini collection on Friday. I cannot recall the last time SDS did a collection this late in a game cycle.
Mhm.
My
Yeah,
working
I don't
theory
know. I
is
didn't even know
that,
we were getting
yeah,
something
it's the
on Friday.
Finders Keepers collection. I think
Oh, yeah.
I
A lot of
think they
people
could
thought it
do
was gonna be
something.
Bagwell. I don't know why.
Bagwell, I thought they'd do
That'd be a
something wild
disappointment.
and be like, "Hey guys, here's your cover athlete, and here's his card." Like, I think because it's only 2 weeks or like 11 days ahead of what they did last year with Jazz.
But that kinda shoots down the J-Ram rumor, right? There's no reason to release another J-Ram card because
Unless the
the
card is the cover, like it is the
yeah.
art of the cover.
Have you talked about that yet? That being, like, speculation of the
I've
cover just because he was at the studio,
yeah,
similar to
I
how Jazz was?
I did a video of like 5 reasons why I think Jose Ramirez is the cover, and I went
Okay.
through all this stuff and like how the SDS
Yeah.
is sending out autographs to people of J Ram, and like I think it's pretty obvious, right? It's got to be him.
Yeah, I think they're going, first off, I think we are on the brisk of news, like you said. We got Jazz, I think, January 30th of last year.
Yeah.
So that's in 15 days, 2 weeks from I guess you guys are listening to this now. And yeah, I mean, then the J-Ram stuff comes in. Like you said, the autographs to the creators
Mhm.
and then be in the studio. I feel like they're gonna go with J-Ram, but I feel like they're gonna continue doing the Legends type of cover as well. I mean, we got
Mhm.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Was that 2 years ago with Jackie? 2 years ago with Jackie, right? And then
Yes.
Jeter.
Yes.
So they went back to back with like legend type of covers. I think they continue that. Who would that be? I don't know. I could see might have the first 3-time cover boy with Joe Mauer just because he might get in the Hall of Fame this year.
Interesting. Okay.
But I don't know if they could. I don't know what other big legends out there that I'm not sure if they'll put on the cover.
See,
Like
like
me
A-Rod in
personally,
my head, A-Rod like as a player deserves the cover, but
yes.
A-Rod and what he's become since, I don't know. Like, does he
Yo,
sell copies?
Barry sells copies. I will
Oh
tell
yeah,
you.
but I don't know if
But
that's
then again, I
happening.
don't think Barry is going to ever be
Yeah.
on this game. But you never know. Jeter, I never thought Jeter would actually ever hone the cover in that movie show. But again, they proved me wrong.
I think the other thing that'd be super cool, and this is more of a shot in the dark, and I haven't really got into talking about legend covers yet, so this is a good conversation.
Mhm.
There's never been a pitcher on the cover of MLB The Show.
No, nope.
And everybody in the world wants Tim Lincecum. And it's kind of niche, but it'd also be kind of cool. Like the Freak Edition. Like I
Yeah,
could
but
imagine that'd be so cool.
he won't push copies like that though. I don't think he will. It might be
Maybe
in the
not,
community
but I
type of
don't
thing.
know. It'd be
It
cool.
Lincecum was in DD before. I mean, he was in
Oh, of
15 and
course.
16.
Yeah.
He back then in 15 and 16, you were able to get away with the fastball, changeup, curveball
Oh,
pitches
yeah. It
more
doesn't exist
so
anymore. Yeah.
than you do now with the meta pitches we have. I mean, circle change is kind of back,
Mhm.
especially this year with the splitter and of course the ultimate cutter and sinker meta. But I don't know how Linscomb would translate into this game right now
Yeah.
if gameplay stays the same. But that's a different entirely story. I would love to see a picture though. Go to your point. Go like even when they were 989 sports and it was just like LB
Mhm.
like 2000, 2002. I don't think they ever had a picture even on those covers when back then.
I
And
don't think so. Not that I
it's
can
kind of
recall.
crazy. Now if you're going to do like two covers like that, this is probably the time they do a picture. But who out there would you do? Like for
That's
picture wise
I don't
besides
know who
Listigo? Like
I
I
don't know
feel
who
like you need a big
moves.
name and they have all the big pictures.
Yeah, I mean, so I watched a video this afternoon. Shout out to Gomes. Gomer did a video this afternoon, like predicting new legends we could get. I think it was 10
Mhm.
guys. And two of the pitchers he highlighted were Sandy Koufax, who
Yeah.
deserves to be in the game, but he doesn't
He's
push,
not a cover.
and Johan Santana, and I don't know if he really moves it either.
No,
So
he's not
I
co
don't
he
know.
moves it for me.
Oh, he
That's
moved it for me. I mean, I'm buying the game
yeah,
regardless, but
uh,
I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting. Like there are plenty of pitchers who could get the
yeah.
praise, but they don't move
Yo
the needle.
it's funny you mentioned Johan's been my number 1 for quite a while. I even remember, like, literally telling, Luis one day, like, because he asked me, "What legend would you like in this game?" I said, "Johan." Like I said,
Mhm.
even overright. This was, like, 2019, still hasn't made it.
They're
I'm
working
I'm
on it.
hoping one
He's
day.
a tough guy to get in
When
touch with, I
he's not
guess.
gonna the thing is, he won't translate either because he's a slider his changeup will, but he's a slider fastball pitcher. Um,
I bet he'd be the
that's
type
the
of
only thing that
guy
scares me,
they'd
man.
give a sinker to him somehow for some reason.
Somehow, some shape or form to give the meta there, then he'll work out. He'll have the circle change, which would be dirty.
Yeah.
But that's about it. But yeah, I loved pitching with Johan in any baseball video game back in
Mhm.
the day.
Yeah. So like, I mean, going back to our original point, if J Ram is on the cover, which I think we could all get behind, and he's not going to be this collection card on Friday because like I don't know
Mhm.
why we're still doing collections at this point. Like there's no point. The only other theory I have is we have not gotten another 99 Jeter and we've gotten 99 McGuire, Sosa, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they give us a retro finest beefy Jeter on Friday just to like come full circle at the end
Just
of the
give it a
year.
125, 125.
Might as well. Come on.
It is January what would it be by then? January
Yeah,
21st or
the
something like
game is
that?
already fake. Like just let it's
It's
fine.
very
Just let it happen.
yeah, I'll be down for that. That'd be yeah, another Jeter card. We didn't get who else did we there was someone else
Lou
that was like
Gehrig, we still haven't gotten like a crazy good
a
card
crazy
of.
card. Yeah.
Bagwell, like you said, but I don't know if people are going to use Bagwell really.
It's crazy because with all the new structure, with all the 99s, um, we still didn't get like those type of cards as well. They
Which is
kind of fell
crazy
on the
because we've
wayside.
had how
Yeah,
many Kyle Schwarbers?
I don't even know. This game itself, like going into this year, um, I was excited to see because you don't really see dev teams taking a shot like this, so you gotta
Mhm.
respect it.
Absolutely. I
Try
respected
something,
it from the jump. Yeah.
yeah, try something new, try to see what works, and really kind of we we tried it out. It didn't work to the best. I don't know what adjustments you can make with the setting seasons. That's why they're the dev team.
Yeah.
I wish I had suggestions on how to. I can't think of any.
The
What I'd
only the
rather
only thing that I've come up with that maintains the idea of sets and seasons but also
mhm,
keeps it fresh, I think. First of all, you have to shorten every single season.
yes.
They're way too long. So,
Mhm,
let's say you just for argument's sake you cut them in half.
yep.
You have season 1, season 2, and then season 3 is wide open, but you start fresh season 4. Like
Okay.
everything from before that is gone. That's going to
Okay.
make people upset. I grinded for this card. I can't use it. Why do you still want to use it? You're going to play the game all year. Let's move on
It'd
to
be
new stuff.
it'd be a good way, if there's another parallel into it.
Yeah.
There's a couple other things I remember I had ideas, whether it be another parallel where you could lock wildcard status.
Mhm.
It'd be hard to get, um, but you could do that, or we have vouchers for wildcard that you find in doing some showdowns where you could just
I like that.
unlock maybe 1 or 2. It'd be like a limited edition type of thing, where you
Yeah.
could unlock that. Or we could get a lot more low tier, mid-tier legends so we
Mhm.
don't get more duplicates. I'm talking about like like our community legends, like back in the day. I mean, like the Pedro Alvarez, like a Ryan Schimpf would make this
Yes.
community go
Yes.
nuts, especially from MLB 18. You could just put that bronze card in there that had the
Mhm.
like the max power. He was basically Joey Gallo-esque before there was even a Joey
And
Gallo.
like they kind of
Um,
like the legend pool we all know is too small, but they also kind of tried to do that in the beginning this year. Like the World
mhm.
Baseball Classic guys totally fit that
Oh yeah,
mold.
I love that. Uh,
Um,
I
when
absolutely love that.
that BR Ryan Ludwig came out, one of my favorite BR cards this year. Like they
Okay.
tried here and there to do that, but there just wasn't enough volume of it.
No, no, and I would like to see more. I love to see like a Steve Pierce back. We
Mhm.
all know about his postseason card, but he had a good gold flashback. I could talk about a lot of different cards, but like you said, I mean, you're a BR fiend just like I am. I like
That's a
playing
new
with the
thing.
lower
I
tier
still can't
cards.
believe it.
Um, but it's fun, man. Once you get to that like mode, I mean, I know we're kind of go off tangent here, but you think of other legends and you think of like lower tier cards, like the silver Logan Morrison, when it was part
Oh,
of
I used to
LMB 20.
love Lomo.
I got a Power 1-on-1 when Powers became a thing, and that card I loved. There's
Colby
so many other
Rasmus was my
cards.
dude too. Similar type of
Cody
swing.
Rasmus is the LMB 17
Yeah.
god in my eyes. He had the gold flashback card, and it was just if people had him when we had endgame lineups in the lineups just because how good he would perform. His attributes weren't even up to standard,
Mhm.
but he was just performed so well. He was in endgame lineups like that, which drive me nuts. Not nuts, but drive me crazy how good that card was.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think it's
so
important, by the way, for people who are listening, not to get confused with what we're talking about. Like, I have no problem with 1,000,099s, and I'm sure Scuffy, within reason, you don't have a problem with 1,000,099s. But that doesn't mean every player in the game needs to have one. Some
mhm.
guys can just their peak year was an 81, and that's what they get, and that's all it is, and that's okay because it builds depth in every other game mode.
Yeah, we need other game modes,
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
to build on top of the 7 seasons. We definitely need a comp mode in my eyes. This is me talking I'm kinda talking selfishly, but I'm not. I feel like the community deserves, like, a weekend league type of whether it's weekend
With
league,
roster
Saturday type.
restrictions
Yeah,
and
with
yeah,
roster restrictions, set stadiums, don't put, like, set
no
comp
no shield
stadiums.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't even wanna go there. I would love to see that being part, of the game itself, but, oh, I don't know if it's ever come, but we had the same 3 online modes, the Vents, BR, ranked since almost 7 years now,
It's
so
crazy.
I
Like
would
they
love
took the
something there.
shot with the content structure. Now I think it's time to take a little bit of a shot with giving us something new. They thought mini seasons might have been that,
I mean, it's good for
but
offline with mini
yeah, but
seasons. Yeah. I never play it, but I'll be honest with you,
I
it
am an
seems
online
good.
player, but I find it
Yeah.
so repetitive and
Yeah.
long and but it was buggy. It's probably better now, but it's just it doesn't
Mhm.
do it for most people. There's got to
Yeah.
be something else we can come up with.
Yeah, and we'll see. Like I said, that's why I'm kind of hoping like once we get news, like first we'll get the cover, but I want to see what the tease is like what we're going to get and go from there. Now let me ask you, it's funny because what we're basically go over is going off based on a Shelfie tweet I saw. I
Mhm.
think that was last week. Once the news comes out, was like the number one thing you are looking for that could probably sell you on the game or what you want to hear. The first thing they talk about, whether it's content, whether it is um, gameplay
Mhm.
or so offline, online. Is there like a single thing that you want to hear that'll be like, okay, I'm in. We're in all automatically,
Of
but just
course.
like
Yeah.
just saying like, okay, I'm ready. Let's get the season started. Here we go.
So I thought gameplay was mostly good this year. I mean,
I thought it was to be honest with you, I was thinking in my head, I think it's an 8 out of 10.
yeah, what's been really triggering me lately is I'm now that I've gotten my 20 times flawless, which
Can
still,
I
oh,
guess?
can't believe. What is it?
Is it foul balls?
Yeah, because now I'm trying to go for 1,000 rating and ranked. And
Okay.
getting through Hall of Fame in the last month has been hell. It's worse than it's been all year. There's just 60 foul balls a game.
Yep.
So the one of two things I'd want them to acknowledge is either we're really working on the hitting stuff because
Mhm.
it plays well
I thought
other
the
than
hitting was
that.
good. The foul balls killed me.
Terrible.
I was streaming today. Luckily, I not luckily I did good. Like I was
Mhm.
able to win, but I still vividly remember I had all right. It was my was it 10-0 game? Yeah, it was my 10-0 game. It was my 10-0 game. It was nothing, nothing. Bottom first at 2 outs, and it was Jesse Winker. I had a righty up. I forgot which righty, but I knew I could get him out swinging,
Mhm.
just like inside pitches. And dude was just fouling it off like
Everything.
3, 5 feet inside. So I kind of like, all right, you kind of like you don't know what to do. It puts you in that mindset. You don't know what to do, and all of a sudden he hits a double. And then he prolongs the inning. I was like, I should be out of this inning right now. But he
And what
prolongs the
makes
inning
it, yeah.
and gets a run, and I'm down, and I had to come back in the third to actually win. But that just like it just like I don't care if that happens to me. I just feel like the
Mhm.
foul balls are still a little bit too much.
What amplifies that problem is that we still have problems with pitches hanging. So when you're in a tight foul ball after foul ball at bat, and
Mhm.
you're like, all right, I'm just going to throw a change up low. He's in swing mode because all he's been doing is fouling stuff off. Maybe he'll hit a soft ground ball or he'll swing over. It'll be a strikeout. And then it hangs in the lower third and he hits it 800 feet.
Mhm.
It
Okay.
all compounds and it's really
Yeah.
annoying.
I don't
Um,
the pinpoint I didn't like at first the adjustments. I didn't mind it as we go on because the super dot like would you rather have the super dotting from last year or the pitching this year?
I don't want super dotting, but I also think we do need to make some changes to the par regions on certain guys.
Yes. I think oh,
Like
who had a good
curveballs,
tweet?
especially curveball
Uh,
pars are just ridiculous.
yeah, Chev had a good tweet out
Yeah,
there. I think that was
yes,
yesterday. It was,
yes. His tweet
fanta
was perfect.
it's funny how, like, the comp guys see this thing and, like, I'm 35 years old. I don't see these things anymore. But I love that in-depth analyst that he has from being, a top player and just be able to play up those old levels,
Yeah.
and I thought that was fascinating.
So
But
if the one thing, or if one of the first things I want to hear about is like foul ball changes, the other thing, and I'm curious how they'd address this, if it would be publicly to the whole world or like privately to creators, is like we really took a look at sets and seasons. I want them
mhm.
to be transparent because
There usually
they
are.
they go through ebbs and flows of it. They've gotten better
Yeah,
at it.
yeah.
Then they got not great at it, but now they're on the upswing again. I'm
Mhm.
just curious if they're like, hey, we're sticking with sets and seasons again, but we've made these changes to make it a little more dynamic.
I have a feeling that's gonna be the case.
I don't think
Um,
you come up with this idea and strip it away after one
no,
year. There's no
one
way.
yeah, there's no way. There's definitely a short goal plan and a long goal plan on what you want this to be. I don't think they scrapped it. I think they make adjustments, they take the feedback that we give them and see what they could do on their side. Um, I really do. 'Cause, might not have been successful like year 1, but they're like you said, still take that shot. We want them to still they take that shot
Yeah.
of just reinventing the Ultimate Team mode. I mean, they're kinda number 1 in that category as is, as you look into other Ultimate Teams. Um, so I would like to see what type of adjustments they do make, but we'll see. It's
We'll
only a matter of
see.
time.
I mean, I would love, like, in my very perfect world, which
Mhm.
doesn't exist, but they drop a release trailer for the cover, whoever the athlete is. They show us the cover art. They're like, okay, March 21st, 2nd, whatever day it is. And then at the end, they're like 50 new legends, and they just end it there. Like, imagine we got like 50's a lot, but
50
if
is a
they
lot.
if they could tell us that we've got like a crap load of legends coming in next year, that would hype me up too, because that fixes a lot of problems.
Yeah. Um, I the big thing for me and to go based on like what started this conversation before with the Shelfie tweet, um, like what I want to see. I want to
Mhm.
see if they're dropping the older consoles. I want to see if they're dropping the
Or just separate
PS4s,
versions
the
of it.
Xbox. I only want separate versions. I just want straight dedication on the current
I
gen.
agree with you. Yeah.
It's been I feel like how long has the PS5 been out?
PS5 came out during the pandemic.
2020, and it's
Yeah, so I
2024.
think I got it
Okay.
in like November 2020, maybe.
Last PS3 MLB Show game. I'm just curious when the last time they dropped. It was 16 they dropped.
And how long had PS4 been out? A while.
PS4 release, I think it was 1 year. They got 2003, so 3 years.
3 years. Oh my god, that's so long.
So 3 years. So that was but P PS5 has now been out for 4 years. So you give the
Yeah,
extra year because of the pandemic,
of course.
of course. So,
And how
um,
hard it was to get PS5s
how
at the start.
now it's as easy as it comes. Um, yeah, I think this is the year. But then again, I don't know the obligation to what they have with Microsoft
Yeah.
or Nintendo. So that we don't know.
Now, so moving to current gen entirely obviously optimizes things like gameplay and player to player connection and things like that. But
Mhm.
from a graphical standpoint, of course, there could always be improvements to be made. But like, I don't look at this game and say these graphics suck. Like, is that a thing that
I
even crosses your mind?
I don't care about graphics
Yeah, as
as
long as
long as
it
the gameplay, right?
performs
Yeah.
optimally, that's all I care
But
about.
that's the thing, like, if you're playing franchise and stuff like that for offline, it would matter.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fair. Yeah.
and for online players, especially if you're a competitive, you just want what does PC, gamers do? They pretty much set the settings to they could probably run it on ultra, but they wanna set the settings to be optimized for competitive play,
Yeah.
whether having the highest FPS and be able to use it that way.
Yeah.
And they don't care about graphics. That's kinda me. I want to have the smoothest performance that I
Mhm.
can. Even though I know I can't compete to that upper echelon, um, I just like to try, and that's what I would do. So for me, it could go both ways. It really can. Um, with the new if they could push it just to the current gen, you could add more new legends. You could do a lot
Mhm.
more stuff, new modes. Probably, maybe. I mean, this is not going would bring back online franchise. Um, do a lot more stuff because you have more room to do it with. So,
And
and
I
you could
also
probably bring a new engine. You ever think of that? A whole new engine. Who knows?
probably, I mean, I would
Yeah.
imagine you could do that. Maybe not in
Yeah.
immediacy, maybe the year after, but you could.
No, yeah, yeah, I couldn't see it.
Um, I had remembered, and I've kind of just been going with this. Well before this game came out, I thought I remembered hearing or reading that this was the last year of Switch. I
Was
think
it?
we can all agree that no one wants to play this game on Switch.
I don't play on the Switch. I got it for
I
the first year. It was just,
exactly. I did it to
that's it.
like PXP grind, and it was terrible.
No, I just couldn't. I you know what works well? The backbone works well, that
Well,
you can get
I have a
for
PlayStation Portal. I bought a
oh,
PlayStation
okay,
Portal.
now yeah, now the
It's
portal's
not
out.
good
I
on
forgot
there,
about that.
unfortunately.
It's not? Okay,
It's still it's better than the Switch,
okay.
definitely. And
The backbone wasn't
I
bad for
love the
me.
Portal for like offline games,
Yeah,
but
that's
for
what
online,
okay.
not great.
Oh, no, not for online.
No.
I was talking strictly offline
Oh,
for,
okay. Yeah, yeah,
like, the
yeah.
backbone, like, if you do wanna do, like, something else like that. Moments is here or there, but then again, I'm not really one that grinds, anymore. That's what pretty much set me off,
Yeah.
from this year
Too much.
because 'cause I've set 2 I've set 1 I loved because I did everything. I grinded everything. First time I did in a while where I grinded, like, everything and
It was
actually
fun.
did stuff. Then I was burnt, absolutely burnt out by mid set 2, season 2, and I stopped playing probably for a good 2 months. I'd never done that before for a
Mhm.
Psycho of MLB Show for quite a while. I think it was May until, like, maybe June or July of, like, I'll play here or there. Now I'm fully back into it, and it's funny, it's not because set 6 of season 6, I just got fully I don't know what rejuvenated. I just got fully back into it, and I'm addicted to VR just like I once was.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, for it was just I was burned, absolutely burned.
I feel that. And I mean, one of the benefits of VR is that you don't have to unlock cards. They're given to you just to
No,
use.
that's
So
why that's why I like the vouchers. I hope they if they do 10 seasons, I hope they continue with the vouchers, because that's how I'll do my grinding that way. I got pretty much all the Team Infinity done by just doing the vouchers.
yeah. Yeah.
So, I want that.
I feel that. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
So with you here, we've got to talk BR. And
that's fine.
a nice segue to really before we dive into it is we talk about new game modes.
Mhm.
And BR is really something unique among sports games. Do you think BR is fine as it is, or do you want an extension of it where it's a higher difficulty or it's
That would be the only
even
thing.
different roster? Like, is there anything different you do about it?
Just a higher difficulty. It's funny because each year has been something new, and that was because of the baseball rules.
Yeah.
Like last year, we got the Ghost Runner,
Mhm.
or 2 years ago, I forget when. This year we got DH, totally new game of
Yeah. And then the pitcher
BR.
specialist might have been the biggest thing for it. Like, you can't
Yes.
take your pitcher out after one batter.
Yeah, there we go. That another rule. Then there
Yeah.
was something else.
The DH was
Where we
huge,
could
like you
pitch,
said.
oh, when we could pick our actual pitchers as well, because
Yes.
it used to be randomized back then. So
Mhm.
there was always something new just based on rules, or there's like a quality of life update to BR. So it's always been kind of fresh.
Yeah.
But right now, though, I would keep it the way it is. The only thing I would do, I will love to see it on Hall of Fame, but I don't think I'll ever do it. It is that arcade type of mode. But it works for me when I mean the 3 innings, you can sit down, play 10, it's like 10 minutes to
Mhm.
15 minutes. I don't have I wouldn't say the stamina to do 9 inning games again. It's just I don't want to.
Yeah. See,
Uh,
I wish ranked excuse me, I wish ranked had like just a little bit more to it because I love the 9 inning feel, but I
it's
have
very
found
stale.
myself this year playing so much BR and events and really not playing as much ranked.
Well, ranked is very stale in my eyes. It has been for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's not a true comp mode in my eyes.
It's
Yeah, you
not
have the top
because they're
50.
giving out prizes. A true comp
It's
mode is just a ranking.
Yeah, and it's, not only that, it's just you have your boosting. I don't say you see the boosting here. It's just you need, I don't know, you just need something else. Like weekend league is right there.
Mhm.
Um, to get, I mean, to do, it should be rather easy to implement. You could just use something like from the events formula, but do it like a weekend league. Um, and I think that would be a true comp. Because you have certain amount of games to play, whether that's 20, 15, 25, and then you base off your rewards on what you get and go from there. I just think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
It'll be much more intense than BR eventually, which I want. You want that feeling. That's why I stick to BR, because the adrenaline that you get from it, especially once you get on once you're like to 4, 5, 6, your adrenaline starts to hit in. Like, okay,
Every pitching change means
this
the
is something
world.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you start facing these great players. And it's just it it every time you play it, like there's nothing like 11-0 game in BR. There
Mhm.
really isn't. I would say 10-0. I think 10. Oh no, you have 19, right? I'm
20. I got
curious.
20.
You got 20. You got
Yeah.
your 20. Let's go.
Yes.
What was I gonna say? All right. I'm curious. For me, the hardest game is the 10-0 game, because you're one game away of actually getting into like the dance per se
Mhm.
of and anything can happen in 11-0 game.
Oh, anything.
I mean,
You
you
could face
have
the
those.
worst player on earth or the best player on
Yeah,
earth.
exactly.
Yeah.
But that 10-0 game to even just get there, I feel like is the biggest trap and hardest game to win in the BR run, in
I
my eyes.
agree with you, but I would add that for me mentally, after I'm 6-0, games 7, 8, and 9, I'm really starting to think a lot more about, okay, I got to save this pitcher. I got to like maneuver
Okay.
this way. That's when I really start locking in, because I've also found like that's when I'm starting to get a lot of the 5 times flawless, the 10 times guys,
Uh-huh.
the random 1 times flawless who's lost one ranked game. Like the random goons pop up in that space. And so
Yeah.
that's when I start to stress it a little bit.
So you think a strategy says 6, 7, 8, 9. See, it's funny. I don't even think about that anymore. I have my strategy just going in is from the same from first game until once we get to the 11th game. I draft, I have my 2 openers. After that, I have my 2 righties that, well, I'll flip-flop my 2 righties after, well, usually I start with 2 righty openers. I rarely do a lefty opener. I don't know
Mhm.
why that is, it's just how it is. I try to get 2 to 3 lefties and then 2 righties at the, or 2 or 3 righties after that.
Yeah.
And then I set my 2 openers. These are gonna be game 1, game 2, and vice versa. If I get a good starter, like say, Yu Darvish, Dustin May,
Chris
there's
Bassett.
other, Chris Bassett, his velo just always gets to me.
That's fair.
He does have a good par though, on a couple of his pitches. Yu Darvish, once he went silver, oh my god,
Oh, I
I
know.
was very
Yeah.
happy, very happy. But I'll sprinkle those, but normally I have 2 openers, and then I just flip flop, and then that's just my same mentality, no matter who I'm
Mhm.
playing. Um, and just flip flop and go through one game. That's just me. It's funny that each person is different
Yeah.
on how to get there. And it's just usually I don't really worry about my pitching because I know I'm going to give up runs no matter what.
Mhm.
It's just the way I play. I'm too aggressive. Um,
I'm a cherry picker, man. I live on corners. I'll
uh,
walk people. I don't care. I'm
I,
trying to
I
hit corners.
I try to hit corners, but I'm just sometimes I'm too aggressive, especially on O2 accounts. I just want to get them out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's just that one flick of the thumb where I was like, oh crap, I hung this pitch and it's
Yeah.
going to go gone. And I had them on their feet with being O2, and I should be a little bit smarter of that, but I'm way too aggressive. That's probably why I
Mhm.
blow too many saves as is. Um, I mean, you
It's
saw what happened to me against you, which
I
was what,
yeah.
last week?
It was
That was last
maybe 2
2
weeks
weeks
ago.
ago?
Yeah,
That was 2
I
weeks
was
ago.
not hitting the ball well for 2 innings, and then I woke up and it was
That's
fine.
usually what happens to me. I blew, it's funny because now I think, like, I think it was 7-1 or 8-1,
I think it
and
was
then I got
7.
some yeah,
Yeah.
it was like and then I remember having a couple runs after it. Oh, 7-1. It's back of my head. Always do that. And there was games today. I had a 4-run lead, 5-run lead in the third. It's something about it. Me getting that last out in the third. I just have this curse or something. Um, and but yeah, that's just how I go about it. And I don't know. It's just, and then you have your typical players that you like to draft.
Which
Now,
is
let
why I'm happy the BR rounds have been as good as they've been. Like the program rounds, I love
yes.
those cards.
Yeah, the program rounds have been good this year. I just miss the 89s from the WBC. They
Yeah.
don't give us in
Alex
that
Hall,
round.
MJ Melendez, those guys are great.
Exactly. I have both of them to P5, can't use them. Um,
Yeah.
and I barely have that many P5 cards as is. And but yeah, those two that was a back-to-back banger for the 89 rounds was we got MJ first and then we got Alex Hall next. And that was and we with Alex Hall, we got Logan Wade as well in that
Yeah.
BR program. So that was great. Um, was gonna say. Now, let me ask you, how you go about to drafting your team? Is there like a certain way you draft your team for position players, or you just kind of look who you just look what's the best quality out there?
So before I talk about position players, I'll talk pitching. This is the first year
Mhm.
in BR I've ever prioritized starting pitching.
Okay.
I need to have two silver starters that I can go. I start games with starters. I don't use openers anymore.
The thing is the stamina is it just
That's
gets
why I
on my
try to get
nerves.
four of them because if
I
you
know
can
it
go
just gets on my
four,
nerves. It really
I
does.
I know maybe I have gone at least 5 or 6 flawless this year, and there have been
Uh,
members of my bullpen that haven't even gotten used in the run because I'm able
that's
to get
funny. I love
four
it.
outs. If I get
I
four
love
outs
how
from a
it's different.
starter, I'm ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Um,
It,
but when it comes to drafting a lineup, the thing that I prioritize over anything else is swing. I need to
yeah.
know that I don't have
Yep.
to worry about like, I don't like Joe Carter's swing, but he's the best 99 here. I'll just ignore him and I'll take the next
Oh,
best
I do
one.
the same. That
Um,
is a good quality right there. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Like continue.
no, it's fine. And
Yeah.
the other thing that I've gotten really big with is side note, Ramon, if you're listening, and I know you are, please give us a redraft button. I'll
Yes,
sacrifice the
I've been
free
saying this for
pack. You
years.
don't need to give me the free pack. You can keep it. Just let me redraft immediately because I've gotten to the point if I don't get 97 Riley Green, I redraft the team.
Oh, okay. No, I've been saying that for years. It's just get me reach out that, but the way that they could like combat that even for the casuals, auto draft function where it just auto drafts through the round nice and quick,
Well, that's
and it
interesting. I didn't think of
takes
that.
the
Yeah.
pick. Like that's a win-win.
That
Like you
also
get
gives you fun
casuals to play.
content ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Get casuals to play, just make it easier for them to build the best quality team out of 26 rounds, or it's just a way for us to
Yeah.
redraft. So, because right now I have 826 redraft packs. I have not opened yet.
Oh, see, you do the counter, which I always find fun. I don't even know how many I've done. I
Oh,
have
I had over
so
a
many.
thousand something by the end of the year last year. Have you were you did you play BR when we had the free um like you didn't have to pay any stubs
Oh,
and
that
they
was
just give
last
you
year
a
with the
comp?
free entries, right?
Was that last year? I think that was 2 years ago.
Maybe it was 2 years. I wasn't
And they
good
give
enough
you a
at it
comment
yet,
pack.
so I played it sporadically.
Yeah, I had like maybe 2,000 comment packs.
That's nuts.
This is all I played.
That's
I
nuts.
like I said, I mean, I don't play that much ranks because I just have no interest.
Yeah.
It doesn't give me the same adrenaline fulfillment playing P versus P like BR does. And BR is such a crapshoot
Hmm.
because it's all star. Anyone could really compete against you. They
Yeah.
might like me. I can't compete against the top players against Legend. There's no way in hell. But I might get the extra shot here in All Star because I'm able to react a little bit quicker, and
Hmm.
I'm more comfortable in that type of environment. Um, so
Yeah,
it's
I've
fun.
I've I've started to learn when drafting these teams that like maybe it's just my personal preference or maybe it's what people actually do, but like I'm starting to value, oh, I need like a real defensive player in center field. I need someone who could chase the ball down. I don't
Mhm.
need like speed in the lineup per se, but I definitely need it in the field. Like a Harrison Bader is someone I've used, or obviously Jose
Okay.
Siri is a
Jose Siri is
all-star
amazing.
in
Well,
BR.
you can hit too. He has reverse splits. I love reverse
But even when
splits.
he was like a silver or bronze, he was like a still guy
Yeah,
you could use.
yeah.
Um,
Uh,
and I have found, and this is no surprise to BR players, but like if I have a lineup that has one glitchy swing bronze, my
mhm.
team is so deep
Okay.
because I know I can rely on that person to actually do some damage for me, like Matt Carpenter or live series Rougned Odor or players like that.
Yeah. Like, I used Vogelback for a while.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What I like to do with those cards, if I get this year, I platoon a lot more because we have the DH spot.
Hmm.
And then, like, if like the whole lineup's really good and I do have like maybe one or two that had to be bronze, I'll platoon them with that, and I actually put them in the top of the lineup. I don't. I
Yeah.
see. That's one thing. I don't always want to stack my diamonds into the top of the lineup. I like to spread them out, just what makes sense. And this one thing, if you're platooning, put them at the top of the line. Guarantee that matchup right from the start.
Hmm.
Um, because you're not always going to be facing the diamond pitcher in BR. I mean, you'll face them, but you're not always. So you get the matchup that you want. You get the swing. I mean, I don't know. That's what I kind of do. So Bogey batted third, but plenty of times for me.
Hmm.
When Nolan Gorman was a bronze, I mean, he's still a stud with being silver. He would be one of those that I would love to platoon. And then Reese Hoskins, that's where I get him in now. Reese Hoskins used to be all around for me, but for some reason, there's a lot of good first basemen out there. So
Yeah, I usually try to always have my 199 overall hitting second.
okay.
Whether it's a power hitter, speed guy, doesn't matter. I want to guarantee that he's getting an extra at bat every game,
Yeah, a lot of
basically.
people like that. A lot of people like even putting like them at the leadoff spot so they get guaranteed multiple bats with them. See, that's just one thing I kind of don't do.
Now, it's if I
I remember
can,
get
I will try to if I can get like Eduardo Escobar Gold and switch
Mhm.
hit the leadoff or lead off the switch hit guy, that'll be my
Okay,
leadoff guy because I can
okay,
guarantee a platoon advantage right off the rip.
yeah. Right now, for me, it's speed. I actually don't mind the speed because we have Ellie. I
Hmm.
feel like I always get the silver Trey Turner. Um, so I always get him, and then I love the Lou Rock. I always
Oh, Lou
say
Brock's
that Lou
incredible.
Rock
Yeah,
from that BR program was better than Sano. That's just my opinion.
I
I
love
know
that
not a
Sano too. That Sano was a fun card.
but I just thought that Lou Brock was so much better.
Yeah.
He was just absolute monster for me. Um, but everyone's different. That's why I love talking about this because we all have our different philosophies on how to,
Hmm.
um, and different players that we like to play with.
Yeah.
Like I when I watch other BR players, um, I'll give Ray for example, who has I don't know like
I
70
think 70.
plus.
He has
Uh,
smoked me more times than I can count.
I haven't faced him recently.
I
Because
was
he plays
11
during
and
the
0
day.
and I matched up with him for a
Uh,
flaw. This was like months ago. He went up like 7-0 in the first inning, and I never do this, but I was just like, Ray, congrats on the flawless. I quit. I'm like, I quit the game. I couldn't get him out. It was unbelievable.
No, yeah, there's sometimes well, that's the thing, same thing for you. You gotta remember when you're locked in like that, you're like, I know the feeling. So
Yeah.
once they're locked in and just feel like you could hit any pitch, it's a cool feeling. But he used players I don't like using. Like he used Matt Bush a lot.
Hmm.
I don't know, for me, I don't like him. He used to use Ken Giles, not I don't think this year. And I see Ken Giles, he's just a four seam, two seam insider. But there's something about him that just connects with him. I'm
The
like,
ball
okay,
kind of just like
that
appears from
player's work
behind
for
his
him.
head. Maybe
Yeah,
that's it. I don't know.
it's probably that over top delivery type. Um, it's funny, the first time me and Ray played, we played in the ESL tournament, and it was actually for money, one of the money rounds, and he got the better of me. I think that was the first time. We're like I was in the Sweet 16, and you had to be in the Elite 8, to get money for the ESL tournament. This is yeah, MLB 19. He
Mhm.
got the better of me.
He's a good player.
He is.
Um, Where do you stand on like lefty righty balance in BR? And I ask because for me, I have found this year lefty lefty in BR doesn't bother me. If I have a lineup entirely of lefties, I'll go
Mhm.
flawless with it. Like I just don't care.
Okay. I always go lefty righty if I can. My last 3 flawless though were either I start out lefty righty lefty or lefty righty lefty, and then I have 6 switch hitters. That's just how good the
Oh,
pool is
that's
now.
nice. There have been a lot of switch hitters in BR this year.
Yeah, right now, well, just the way it is right now, I'm able to get 6 switch hitters in like 1 or 2 drafts. I had to redraft. The last 3 flawlesses, that's the floamer I went. I would that's not going to happen each year, just how it works this year,
Mhm.
with the pool. But usually I go lefty righty lefty, regardless of that if I don't have any switch hitters. Lefty lefty, I don't really mind, because I know the players that I can hit lefty lefty with, and I'll draft them. I just started playing with that BR Matt Carpenter card.
Oh,
My
it's
God,
so good.
that card is
His his
unreal.
his signature series card is one of
Yeah.
my like unsung heroes of this year.
Okay.
His swing is so good.
Oh, it's always been that good. It's just amazing. The thing is, like, when he was part of the BR program, we had Juan Makata, so there's no way I was choosing Carper over Makata because that Makata is one of my top silvers cards that I use
Mhm.
in, multiple years, so I was like, "Alright," and then I just drafted Carper one day, and he was carried me to a falls run. I was like, "Alright, he has arrived."
I just think for some reason across the board, BR ranked events doesn't matter. Pick the difficulty. I just hit better with lefty swings. Like I spoiler alert
Okay.
for people listening or watching. Video coming out on Thursday. I did it was in Moonshot, whatever, asterisk next to it, but I did a game of a team entirely of the worst swings in the game, and then
Mhm.
a team entirely of the best swings in the game. The worst swings just so happen to be all right-handed hitters. And they're obvious ones, right? Like Pudge and
Yeah, I
Joe
was curious.
Carter, Dante Bichette, Paul Molitor, guys like that.
Yeah.
But
Punch,
then
I
there's
don't mind. It used to be bad. It wasn't as quick this year. I don't know what it is.
I
He
just
did have a quick swing once, and it
he
was actually
doesn't
alright.
he doesn't elevate the ball. For
Okay.
some
Yeah.
reason, I can't lift it with this guy.
No, you're right. I remember having him the home run derby one, he didn't really lift the ball.
Which is it's same thing with the A's Mark McGuire. Like he might
Oh
get
god,
the ball squared up, but he just
that's
it's a line
so
drive.
slow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is very I don't use Mark McGuire
No,
cards
I
at
don't
all.
either.
I
I did for
can't.
the video because his swing
No,
is
I
good.
know that. I'm just
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
It sucks because Piazza's like that. And being a Met fan, kind of want to use Piazza. I kind of still do it if I need to, but
Mhm.
like if I want to do all time Met, actually I'll use Alvarez. Um, but yeah, Piazza always had that long swing
Gary
because it's
Carter's
funny.
got a better swing than Mike Piazza now too on
Yeah,
the
he
Mets.
does have. He has Gary Carter always had a good swing, but I still didn't like playing Gary Carter cards. I don't know what it is. But luckily we have Alvarez now, so I'm good. Um, what was I gonna say? There was something else. Like, I'm thinking now, let me ask you what was the best swing set you had? Or is it the obvious?
The best swings were 8 of the 9 of them were lefties.
8 or 9 of them. Wow.
Dr. Smooth, of course.
Okay.
Um, my one of my top 3 favorite cards for no reason this year, I think he's one of the most underrated cards in the game, is Finest JP Crawford. His swing is the best swing I've ever used. It's
I
unbelievable.
never used JP. Have
Dude,
not used JP once.
if you were in a hole at shortstop in BR
Uh,
and live series
is he
JP comes
bronze or
up,
silver?
he's a
He's
silver.
he's silver, okay.
Don't worry about his attributes. They play like Barry
How
Bonds.
about
He's unbelievable.
I'll try him out. I'll
Um,
give that.
Bellinger, of course, has a great
Yeah,
swing,
Belly's easy.
but then you give him 120 vision, it's cheating.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
The same with Soto.
Same with
Soto,
Soto.
I
Soto
love
didn't
hit
make this
I'd
team, but
rather
he was
hit lefty
close.
lefty with Solo than righty because they always try to go in with the Soto just with his stance.
Yeah. Schwarber was on that
Yep.
team. George Brett was on the team, even though the George Brett card this year wasn't as good as the previous one.
Mhm.
Just kind of guys like that, like swings that none of us argue about. Like we all know they have
No.
incredible swings.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue any of them.
Yeah, I
Now,
wanted to kind
we're
of see the difference between like what makes a swing good or bad, and I don't know. It's all preference, I guess.
it's all preference. It's all mental. Everything in this game for like settings wise is all preference. PCI, um, like me, I don't use a PCI. My PCI fades out. Um, but it's all personal preference because it's all about mental, what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
That with cameras as well, I feel like. I mean, still for hitting, I would recommend one of the strike zones, but for pitching, I don't know. For me, you could pitch successfully no matter what camera.
You
That's
can do
just
anything.
my
Yeah.
yeah. So whatever you feel more comfortable with, because once you have that comfort level, especially for pitching, you feel like you could throw it anywhere and you'll just have better input that way. That's just in my eyes. But yeah, it's funny how that works though. Certain players, like I mean, I remember doing like theme drafts, and there is a common catcher, Peyton Henry, that I
Okay.
love.
I
His
heard the name. I don't know anything about the card.
swing is absolutely unreal. I forgot whose swing he has, but it's unreal. I've loved using him. And then you find some diamonds in the rough, like Victor Car what's the Brewers silver
Oh, Caratini.
Caratini? He has Lindor's swing.
Oh,
I mean,
does
you
he
can't go
really? I
wr
didn't realize that.
yeah, you can't go wrong with Lindor's swing, so
He's cheating too.
and he doesn't have the best attributes, but he'll play above it.
Yeah.
That's why Alberto Mondesi's live series card, you still could plug him in there.
Hmm.
I
That's
mean
one of the other reasons I like BR is because you find those guys. Like I've learned that live series, I think he's a 68. Riley Adams, the catcher for the Nationals, kind of actually
okay.
slaps the ball around pretty well.
Yep.
I went flawless with bronze Ryan McKenna as my center fielder. He did pretty well.
It's
You just kind of uncover some guys.
Yep, it's that's why that's the beauty of like BR. That's why I missed the bronze round as well. I understand why they got rid of it, but I do miss that. My favorite bronze ever was from MLB 21, the Andrew Jones Yankee card. Had 80
Oh
power
yes, I
both
remember that
ways.
card. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was my favorite bronze card ever in MLB Show. And then if some old heads that played the game, Chris Carter from MLB 18 was a killer bronze card back in the day. Same with the Ryan. We had him and Ryan Schimpf back to back. There was another bronze card that was really Miguel Sano is no longer a bronze. He's a common now,
He's a
but
common. Yeah,
he
yeah.
used to be a stud.
Yeah, he was a if he showed up as a bronze, you drafted him and figured out where to put him.
Oh yeah, you figured it out. You put him in. It's the same thing for with me and Stanton. If I see Stanton, he's going to be a DH. But
Dude, he's one of my
uh,
favorite cards in this game. His
I
99 is
lo-
my God Squad DH in set
I
6.
love his swing.
Yeah.
It's either you get his swing or you don't. Because it's always 50-50 when I hear about people with Stanton. But if you get his swing,
Mm-hmm.
like it's just unbelievable. That's the same thing with me and Vogelback when I had him. That's why I plug him in the lineup. But yeah, it's fun. You find those players. You really do. You find those players. Like for me, I haven't used the I talked about the Carpenter card. The Ruiz card from the Nationals, the catcher. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like his attributes, so I always skipped him. I know he was a switcher, but eventually I had to plug him in. Dude was MVP of my run. And I was
He's
like,
got
all
a
right,
nice
never
swing
again.
too.
Never
Yeah.
again. And the thing is, he doesn't have the best exit velo, but he just gets hits. And that's all I need from I put him in 9 spot, just get me hits, and then we'll take it from there.
There are some guys, and I've said this before on this podcast, and it makes sense to me. It might not make sense to everybody. There are some guys when you use them. Cody Bellinger's kind of one of the best examples I can give. Maybe Chipper Jones too. Their barrels just feel bigger when you swing. And I know that makes no sense. Like the barrel's the same size as everybody else's, but it just seems like every time you hit it, it is smoked.
Yeah.
And I just can't explain it. It's just guys that I want to use because I know that I'm going to hit the ball hard every single time.
Yeah. No, I feel you. That's why this is why I played the mode I play. I love talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, I've had more success in the mode this year than ever before, but I look at Ray every other day like, oh, flawless 71, flawless 70. I don't know how he has the mental capacity to do it, man. It's tough.
I mean, there's some rough days between there that you go through.
Oh,
I
of
mean, I
course.
know
Everyone
from my
slumps.
hand.
Yeah.
Oh, it's you slump like crazy in this game. There's some days are like, how the hell did I ever win a game before? Just like in real baseball, kind of. So, and it's just it gets on you mentally. But yeah, to get that many flaws is crazy. My highest has been actually that 19. I think not last year, but the couple years before that, I got 19 straight years. Couldn't never got over the hump in the 20.
You got like 2 months, man. Come on.
Yeah, I'm at 9 now.
Good.
But
Push.
like I feel like if I played more, like if I didn't take up time off, I'll have like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 more, so I'll be even closer. But I'm gonna try to shoot it, see if I could get it with before. Yeah, I have like 2 months, basically 2 months.
So my goals this year, like I said, we're get to 20 follows, and I've never made 1,000 rating before. I want to try. I figured I
Okay.
would do the 20 banner first. hoping that encourages ranked opponents to quit faster. So that was my theory. If they see that icon, they'll dip real quick.
Well, yeah, they'll be like, all right, they got lock, or they got lock in, and they know they can't make any mistakes.
Yeah, but like maybe if I score a run or two in the first inning, they'll be like, oh no, this is bad.
I think it's more towards that than
I hope so. We'll see. I haven't tested it yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, good luck with that. I couldn't do it. I can't play in Hall of Fame Legend anymore.
I'm not a fan of Legend gameplay in the current form. I think, again, going back to Chev making good points, I think if connections were just universally better across the board, people would be less afraid of Legend. I think connections make Legend unplayable sometimes.
Okay.
But, I mean, what else are we playing this game for at this time of year? Like,
yeah,
we're either playing it because we enjoy it, which is a totally fair thing that we both do, but we're trying to be better and, like, set goals for ourselves. I'm like, there's nothing else going on. Might as well try it.
Yeah, exactly. The only times I played Legend, I don't think I played Legend this year. I had all the tension to play in like the comp, and something happened where I couldn't. But yeah, the only times I played Legend was just the comp, because I know I'm not going to get far in the comp. But it brings a new way to play the game and it just feels like every game is like 11-0 when you play those games. So I love the adrenaline of it. But yeah, Legend, with my eyes, my reaction, can't do it anymore.
See,
I'll still do it, but I won't win.
I like to think that I could pitch well enough in Legend to be like one lucky swing away from getting into a game, but I don't know. Sometimes like you'll play a guy in Legend who's equally as horrible as you, and then you'll just match up against the best player you've ever seen, and they'll drop 10 runs in a couple of innings.
They'll make it look easy. And it's crazy. I mean, it's a young kid's game. It really is. To have that reaction time. And there's other methods that people use that I'm just like, okay, I don't know how you're doing that, whether that's like tempo or something else like that. I'm just like, okay, that's just beyond my years.
Yeah, or the ones that frustrate me most are, and it's not the player that frustrates me per se, but the fact that they have the pitch recognition at that speed to not swing at stuff a centimeter outside the zone. I'm like, dude, I just made the best pitch on 2 strikes ever.
Like that for All-Star, man.
I know. It's hard. I swing at everything.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it makes me better.
It will. It will lead you right into 24. We'll still, by probably this time next month, we should have a tech test if they continue doing tech tests.
I would imagine, right? Tech test came out when? Early February, mid-February?
February 13th, or actually, I think it was February 15th last year. And we show 23 tech tests.
I think it was mid-February.
Yeah, 15th. It drops today. February 15th. So a month from today it would be, if they did it.
I wonder if I have the game up in front of me. Does the calendar? So the calendar says
they won't announce that until after the cover.
No, but I'm just curious if there's any like weird like gaps or clues or anything. It says January 19th, we have that weird collection we talked about, and then February 2nd, there's the final ranked reset. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh, there's going to be another reset in ranked?
There's a ranked reset on February 2nd, and then on March 8th, it is forever ranked. So February 2nd is not even forever ranked. There's still 2 more ranked seasons.
What? Oh no, forever ranked begins March 8th. I see.
Yeah, so we have a February 2nd reset and a March 8th reset.
Yeah, that's okay.
I guess they're keeping consistent with like the 4 or 5 week thing.
So my guess
would be like whatever that 15th. third Thursday or Friday of March is when we're going to get the game, I think.
It's going to be the 15th.
Oh, you think we're going to get the game that early in March?
Well, the 8th, I think it'll be a week after. Yeah, we got 15th.
Well, I know the MLB, not that it always matters. The MLB season starts like a week early this year because they're playing games in Korea. They're playing a 2 or 3 game series in Korea, and then there's a couple day break before everybody else plays.
I would love to see it on the 15th, to be honest with you.
15th, that'd be
2 months.
When was the release date for 23 though? I feel like it was later than that.
It's probably like 24th or something like
23
that.
23 release.
I'm just being
date.
I'm just trying to manifest it.
March 28th. Wow.
March 28th.
That was later than I remember.
All right, give me the 22nd then.
meet in the middle. Boom.
Yeah, meet in the middle.
I'm just ready for something new to play. I'm ready to sink my teeth into something new.
Yeah. I think it's at that point. For me, I'm still like, because I took that so much time off, like the rejuvenation of just BR and now setting that goal to see if I could get 20, I'm good. I think that'll hold me over in 2, especially if we get another tech test. That'll hold me down for a week.
Oh yeah,
And then we'll go right back to it.
get
The only thing
a
that
couple
sucks
tech
every time
test
you play,
flaws.
yeah, no, I don't think I ever done that, because I always get sometimes disconnects.
Yeah,
Um, the only thing that sucks is after you play the tech test, after you get the feel, you're like, "Oh," you
now you
just
got
want
to
the
go
game
back to
back.
the old toy
Yeah,
again.
you just gotta go to the other game.
Yeah.
So because I remember with the fielding, because I love the fielding, the new fielding,
Hmm.
because it gives a little more skill gap. Even though I hate it at the same time because sometimes I mess up. It's just my own fault. Um, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm anxious, kind of. I mean, selfishly too, because now that the content stuff is working for me,
Yeah.
I haven't had a full game cycle from the jump of like content going well,
Okay.
So I'm
Yeah,
excited to see like from day one what happens.
that gives you a little motivation. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see what happens. All right. So I mean, as always, this has been phenomenal. Boys
Of
and
course.
girls, if you don't know Scuffy, I don't know where you've been, but where can they find you?
Twitch, Scuffy McGee, YouTube, Scuffy McGee, and then Twitter, Scuffy McGee TV. Think that's the only thing different. That's the only
Yes.
one I don't have for just Scuffy McGee. I did. It's funny, it's a story. I had it, and then this is like when I first started Twitter, and this is before like even Twitch was a thing or I even knew about. And because I always use Scuffy McGee as my PSN,
Mhm.
so I made my Twitter that way, and then I changed it because I wanted to do. I was part of a flag football team. I made a flag football team. I kind of want to use a Twitter account. So I was like, all right, I'll just switch with the name. And I switched it to our team name. And then once I got into content, the Scuffy Media wasn't available anymore. I was like, oh god damn it.
As
Um,
there's a
but it is what it is.
so I'm kdjTV 611 on everything except Twitch.
Okay.
I wanted it to just be kdjTV everywhere without the numbers. But
Yeah.
there's a dormant YouTube account that's at kdjTV that no one has touched in years. And I think now that I'm a partner, I could probably finagle my way into taking that from them.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like people already know it as what it is, so like why bother changing it?
Fair enough. I because I was on Twitch once I got partnered, I was able to switch that. Because I was on Scuffy McGee TV or Scuffy McGee underscore. Like I switched that and then they were able to change it for you.
Yeah, I might look
So
into
there's
that.
a
We'll see.
yeah.
All right, so that was a little inside baseball for everybody at the end of the episode. Most of you guys don't care about that. If handles
No.
change, I'll let you know. I promise, but I don't think they will. All right, Scuffy, again, thank you so much. I can't wait for MLB The Show 24 and more conversations and people who are listening or who are watching. Put in the comments how much you love Scuffy. That's the number
I
one thing to
appreciate it.
do. Okay.
Well, thank you for having me. Once again, this is always fun. You know, I could talk about this all day, especially the BR talk. I could do that all day. Once again, and continue doing what you do, man. This is great stuff.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Everybody, have a good week, and we will talk soon.
Take care.
Peace.